In the quiet village of Umudim in Anambra State, under the wide skies and rustling palms, lived the Okafor family, a household known not for wealth or power, but for something far deeper. Great-grilled Papa Okafor, or as the villagers called him, Adogwu, was a humble palm wine tapper. Every morning, before the first cock crowed, he would tie his worn-out climbing rope, sling his calabash, and disappear into the forest. The climb was steep, the trees were tall, and the work was dangerous, but he never missed a day. Why? Because he believed that dignity lives in honest labor. He and his wife, Mama Neka, had 4 children: Neka, Chibuzo, Ifeanyi, and little Ada. They lived in a modest mud house with a thatched roof, 1 lantern, and a strong belief in a better tomorrow. But life, as you know, is never fair. Not to the poor, not to the patient, not at first. One rainy season, Papa Okafor fell from a palm tree. It was bad, the kind of bad that makes you question God. His back was broken. He couldn't walk. The man who had carried his family could no longer carry himself. For many families, that would have been the end, but not for Mama Neka. She wiped her tears, tightened her wrapper, and turned her little cassava patch into a small farm. She started roasting and selling bowl by the roadside. Some days, all she made was 500, but she never stopped. Patience, hard work, resilience. Chibuzo, the first son, dropped out of secondary school to hawk bread in the mornings and wash cars in the evenings. Every time he passed by his mates in uniform, he felt the sting of shame, but he held his head high. One day, after washing a customer's car with unusual dedication, the man, a retired professor, asked him, "Why are you not in school?" Chibuzo smiled and said, "Because school effies no day grow on bread, sir." The professor laughed. And 2 months later, Chibuzo was back in school, scholarship fully paid. He later became a civil engineer. But let's not jump ahead. Ifeanyi, the 3rd child, started crafting slippers from old tires and selling them in the local market. People laughed. Slippers from tire? Na who go buy 'em? But he improved his skills. He learned design. He stayed up late. Now, he owns a thriving footwear brand in Onitsha, and guess what? He hires local boys and teaches them the trade for free. Ada, the youngest, grew up watching this storm of pain and perseverance. She read under candlelight, fetched water before dawn, and studied like her life depended on it, because it did. That little girl? She later became the first medical doctor in the entire village, and Neka, the eldest, went on to become a teacher, not because it paid well, but because she believed in shaping other people's tomorrows the way her parents shaped hers. Years passed. The house in Umudim was no longer a mud house. It became a proper bungalow, painted in fresh white with green window panes. Papa Okafor, now in a wheelchair, sat outside every evening watching the sunset with pride in his heart. He once told a neighbor, "I thought the fall broke me, but it made my family rise." You see, the Okafors never had it easy. They never had connections. They didn't pray money into their account. They worked. They waited. They endured. They proved that greatness doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through small acts of love, through quiet sacrifice, and through the kind of strength only struggle can teach. So if you're watching this today and your journey feels slow, if life is weighing on your shoulders, if it looks like others are flying while you're crawling, remember the Okafors of Umudim. Their story is not just theirs, it's yours, it's ours. It's the story of thousands of Nigerian families who rise not by magic, but by patience, hard work, and resilience. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tales That Walk by Cami. Let's keep telling stories that inspire us to stand, even when life tries to keep us down. Till next time, walk well and never stop believing. If you enjoyed the story, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.